Hey, what's up? We back again. Better know what you heard, man. This ain't just hype. Red alert, uncut, unfiltered, and it's about time that we sound the alarm. Let's go. Mic check. Mic check. All right. Y'all know what time it is, man. Been a little while since I've been on, so I guess I got a little echo going. Yo, Mike, see how we going? All right, we're gonna get right into this, man. All right, so look, I don't know if you know what I mean. What this is, red alert. You know what I'm saying? Unfiltered and uncut. And you know, we already sounded the alarm, so we're gonna bring it back for y'all one time. Back again for the third time, you know what I mean? It's your boy E up here coming to bring it real, you know what I'm saying, real unfiltered. So that's how we gonna do. I wanted to do something different. We get ready to do a little something new. We get ready to do something a little something new. Like little bit of that Fat Beach meets player club. So this is where I'm at with mine today. I'm gonna bring out this this footage of the playoffs, game one. And I'm thinking about just going 1 through 7. While I got some other stuff running, you know, if you haven't checked out the little short docs, you know what I mean, you can check out the little short doc. You know, I got Jabbar Smith coming and then Reed Shepard coming after that. So, you know, they're gonna be popping up soon. But, you know, um, since it seemed like I ran off all contestants, I ran off all contestants on the debates. Until I can get smoke on the debates, I got the debates rolling. And for today, and until then, what I'm gonna be running is some of these right here in between time. I got some more topics I'm gonna talk about, but definitely for today, I wanted to get into this right here. I actually was gonna pull the whole entire video and just run the whole video and do a whole um reaction to the whole entire game. But I was like, that's gonna be hella long, especially with stops and pauses and just watching it. And I didn't want to sit here and watch the whole game of the same thing. So what I did, I just cut it down to the highlights, and I'm gonna do a quick um real time reaction of some of the stuff I was looking at in the highlights, what I was watching the highlights, and you know, we'll let it go how it go. So if you tuning in, thank you for tuning in, and shout out to the to the squad, shout out to H Time to the boys, man. You know how we do it. Let's get into it. Boom. Ain't no sound going, so I am gonna keep my little joints going in the background, but you know, this was the play where I felt like we had a chance right out the gate because Jalen made a good read. And I think that read was already drew up before they got on the court, and they just ran it to perfection. This right here was a play. Oh no, that wasn't the one. But directly after that, our next play was a play where Jalen kicked the ball to Fred VanVleet, and Fred had a chance to make that same shot. He missed it. That one he made. But I think if Fred would have hit the first one that he took, it would have opened the whole series up for Jalen. But it's one of those things where if Fred not making the shot, then you know, they can kind of. they can kind of cheat towards Jalen. This is just Almond just being more athletic than everybody. I watched a lot of Almond stuff, and he's just way more athletic than everybody. And a lot of time, what you see is his dribble not tight. You know, his feet placement and none of that stuff don't really be what you expect it to be. But he just has more determination than the other people on the floor, and that was just a good pass to Alpha Shangon. Okay, boom. That's Curry being Curry. Now look, right here at this point, let me take this down so y'all can see something. Okay, okay, we can't see the score, but at this point, we were still in the game. Actually, we was in this game this whole time. But look at the defense they're playing on Jalen. I mean, that's not Jalen. That's yeah, that is Jalen. The defense they're playing on Jalen. And he just gets to the cup easily, bro. But it's like he's not going like that every time. He's not taking it upon himself to go every time. And I don't know if that was intentional or what, but it's one of those things where you say, "Well, Jalen wasn't." But how easy he could have been, I think, is what made a lot of Rockets fans um disappointed. I don't want to say like upset, but it was more like a let down almost. Like he just didn't do it. He could have just took it upon himself to blow past those guys and use athleticism and his speed to get down here. Um, and we was talking about the value of different players on our team. So just let me just run this back for you. For those of you who don't understand why I say Tari Eason is so valuable, because already right here, he's finna steal this ball. This ball is stole right here. And Draymond is telling him, do not come this way with the ball. This dude is on me. This is a great defensive play in Draymond. I haven't got the joints where I can draw on the screen yet, but I would like to draw this up where Draymond is telling him to go this way so Curry can get down and maybe get some space and maybe get the ball to Curry. And Draymond knows that Torrey is already on it. Before this play, before Moody even looked this way, Torres already had Draymond crowded off the screen. And I'll tell y'all a little secret right here. Why you can't see a lot of the screen is why, you know, if you're trying to run your videos and you want to run them, you got to make them bigger to where you can't see the decals and different stuff from other where you can't see the videos and stuff from other things. That's why they'll get you strikes. But if you move that stuff out the screen, sometimes it won't get you strikes. But boom, when he looks this way, Draymond already knows this stole. It's gone. It's gone. Draymond knew it, you knew it, I knew it, everybody knew it. That's what Tari Eason does that other players can't do in the league. And they just don't have the arm length or the speed and athleticism or anticipation to make that play look that easy. And that's what Tari Eason brings to the table every game. Okay. This is Armin trying to get the ball to Jabari. He couldn't. Alperen does it very easily. Boom. Buckets. Okay. And let's go back and look at this defensively. I want to look at this defensively too. Because what is it that Armin is doing right here? Just watching. I'm staying at home on Moody. I'm supposed to stay at home on Moody, but at a point there's Steph Curry. Just did. You know? You don't want to let Steph Curry just get in there. I mean, you got two tall dudes on him, and he's probably thinking one of y'all can get to that ball. But that's Steph. He's gonna throw that shit off the shot clock and make it. If you got the power to do it, you got the assignment. How that thing go? For those of you who have the ability, you had a responsibility. Ain't there something like that? Okay. Lamb bleep. Alperen. 1-2. Buckets. I mean, let's go back to this Alperen Shangon right here. You see where he's getting the ball at? This is what I be telling people. Alperen Shangon is at his best catching the ball out here. And people say, well, I want Alperen posting up. No, bro. No, bro, that's ridiculous to say you want Alfred Şengün posting up. Alfred Şengün is at his very best when he catches the ball out the perimeter and forces this man to have to make a decision. Because then once he starts going, he got so many moves that he can do at the high post and get you moving backwards. And once he get your feet moving backwards, that's when he can get you off balance. Feet moving backwards, now you off balance, and now I can just stop right there and go to the floater. But people who be saying, he need to be in the post, you don't know basketball, bro. You don't know basketball when you say Albert Shango need to be in the post. No, he's not Shaq. He's not Rick Smith. He's not, you know, he's not that, bro. Albert Shangoon is a ball handler. He's a ball handler. That was DB. But even if you remember the old Rockets, some of Elijah Wan's best plays was when he caught the ball a little higher out on the block. You know, because he when he would catch the ball in the post, he would just go right hook, right hook, right hook until you stop it, and then get the ball on the other side and go left hook until you stop that, and then he would start going into his bag. It wasn't like he was just dream shaking from beginning to end. Now that's easy, but he's not going to get that all the time. Albert Shango is not going to get the easy dump in over two guys every time. Now you got Draymond on him. There you go. Boom. So it's the mix up, it's the variety of things that he can do that makes him special, you know. And to be physical down there. Let me look at this. Let's go back and look at this little Curry joint right here because this is important. Fred Van Vliet right here is playing good defense, but he's getting cooked the whole way. It's nothing he could have possibly did with that. And the fact that we just let him do it, I mean, right here he cooked. Right here he cooked. Now I don't know what the sign, what the, what the play was. You know, you stay with your man or what. But you see Alfred's hip right here as to cut off the lane. When Steph Curry is already in his back, he got a whole two screens right here. He's gonna use both of those screens, and boom, boom, both of those screens gone. And now Alfred is still trying to watch him, but now you got to get back to cover that to cover Looney. Now you got to get back to cover Looney, and it's just up and under, a quick up and under at that. Boom. And I think Alfred Şengün played great defense there. Look, this is what I'm telling y'all. At the perimeter, ball handler, back you down. Getting the ball out top is dangerous when Alfie got the ball out there because he can do so much with the ball as far as changing directions and making the defense shift and keeping the big men away from the paint. That allows Amin Thompson and Jabari Smith Jr. A lot of accessibility to the rim when that big man have to come out and worry about Alfie putting the ball on the ground. We're not even going to talk about Steph Curry shooting threes. That's just you need to put that down. My son sanitary. Put your mouthpiece up. That's unsanitary. They need to call a flagrant foul on that, man. If you don't got your mouthpiece in your mouth, that should be a flagrant foul. That was Jalen doing one thing, He did make some good plays. He did make some good plays, but yes, it was far few and in between. All right, boom. At this point, the game is out of hand. I didn't even know that was down there at the bottom. LP is Batman. LP is Batman, bro. I'm not even going. You know, I think Jimmy won this game for him. Jimmy won this game for them, and LP really, you know, LP really made us look like we could win. Look at that, poke the ball out. I don't even know why they posting up Moody on on LP. It's crazy. Tar, look at that. That's what I'm saying. Tari is more of a shooting guard than anybody on our team, bro. I hate to tell y'all that. Tari is more of a shooting guard than Jalen was at the time and than Amin is now. If Tari is healthy, I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna tell you the truth. If Tari is healthy, I'm starting Armin and Tar and KD together. I don't care what nobody say about Jabari Smith Jr. None of that. No, 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 none of that. I'm starting. I'm starting Tori at my two and Armin at my three, and KD can play four. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm saying what I would do. Because you imagine having the Terra twins starting. Imagine having the Terra twins start. Look at it. Run the ball up, pace, pause. And that's what, that's what Jabari brings to the table that people don't expect from him a lot. Is put the ball on the ground and just get low. Get low with the ball and drive to the rack hard. And if he continues to do that this year, if Jabari continues to put the ball on the floor like that and get to where he needs to be, it's going to be a different year for Jabari. It's going to be a different type of year for Jabari if he continue to be able to put the ball on the deck a little bit, because he really learned how to get his hips low when he dribbled it this past year and be more confident, and that's going to allow him to get past defenders. It's not like you going bag for defense against defenders when you dip your hips and go ahead and get low and go. That go point center. Big Ginobili, bop bop, he gone. Big Ginobili got it. There's nothing nobody can do with LP when you bring the balls up court. There's nothing they can do with it. That's stupid. That's stupid. That's stupid. Look, even Jimmy said that's stupid. Floater, don't even go for it. So now this same thing. When Armin is going full speed down the court, there's nothing you can do with him. You just go ahead and run back as fast as you can. Like if I have to play Armin Thompson, what I'm practicing is I'm just on a railroad track, just running back as fast as I can, trying to see if I can learn how to pick my feet up and run backwards at the same time. Nothing you can do. Bang bang. That's a dangerous play every single time. Let's get a little look at that. Oh yeah, we'll talk about Steve O a little bit. We'll talk about Steve O a little bit. But what I really wanted to get into was we know what he do. GP2 back to Houston, man. This right here. Boom. You really gotta everybody gotta collapse. Because he can go in there and boom on your squad right here. Everybody gotta collapse. And he gets one or two, and then the kick out to Jabbar, making himself a big target. And Amin delivers this ball, oh, right in the shooting pocket. Look at that delivery. Wow, right in the shooting pocket. That was an excellent pass. So many different ways that pass was an excellent pass. Not only did he totally collapse the defense, where he totally made everybody concerned about what he was going to do with the ball, but when he delivered it outside of the defense, and he delivered it directly into where Jabari catches the ball best and shoots from. I mean, as best as he could from where he's from. But that was a great pass by Armin. And you know, this is where we have a mismatch all game long. It's just Armin on little people, just Armin on little people going to work. But this is what I hate. This is what I hate. Great defense, and you let somebody get off a dumb shot, bro. You let somebody get off a dumb shot, and then you can't stop that. That's just what that is. We don't even care. And this game overall will tell you something. Our best player in this series was easily Albert Shangon, but as you see, Armin was doing everything he could do. He was doing everything he could do to make an impact on this game. After like 2 quarters, Jalen just totally disappeared, and we heard nothing else about Jalen doing anything for the rest of the series. You know, um, and Armin took it upon himself to try to fill the void from what we was missing. That to me is the sum of what happened in the series, and it's why I say for people who say that Almond is better than LP, I mean you smoked out. I get it. Um, but as far as impact, it's not a player on our team that has the ability to impact every part of the game like Alfred Shangoon. But the next person is going to be Amir Thompson, and I really think that a key point is that Kevin Durant can do that also. Kevin Durant can impact every part of the game also, which I think makes us a very dangerous team based off of the fact that we have complete players all over the court. We have complete players all over the court. Um, after watching this highlight a couple of times today, and I got to watch it, and obviously I watched it with the score going along with it. But this is what I wanted to say about it. We all saw what happened, and I think the biggest thing we take away from it is what Jalen didn't do. But I think it's more to be said about what Alfred Shangoon did, and it's more to be said about what Armin Thompson did. They they basically carried this team. Two players basically carried this team. As you can see in this game, the action, all the momentum and action came from those two players, along with you know impact plays by Torrey Eason. So um, if if you think, tell me what you think. Do you think that extending Torrey is not important because he's been hurt, or do you think that extending Torrey is important because he can't be hurt forever? And if he ever gets healthy, if his health, you know, reforms or his health goes back to what it used to be, he was Mr. 82 like Jalen was last year. Um, Tari can be as important to this team as anybody on the team. I mean, it's nothing you can say about having Amin Thompson and Tari Eason on the floor together. If Tari continues to shoot the ball the way he shot the ball, you know, because Tari also didn't have a bad shooting year. I think if I'm right, he shot the ball mid 30s, you know, and wide open shots. He didn't miss a lot of wide open shots. He missed some contested shots, but most of the shots he took, they all looked pretty stable. He had a nice base, and his rotation and form was all decent. So you think about what it could mean for the team in the future to have Atari Eason playing shooting guard and Amin playing point, or Atari playing shooting guard and Amin playing three if Reed Shepard is on the floor. And you can package Reed Shepard, Tari Eason, and Amin Thompson at your 1, 2, and 3 with Alpha Shango. That's a very solid team after KD leaves if we're able to keep everybody. So tell me what you think. If you think that, Tari's been hurt too much, we need to get rid of him. Um, he hasn't shown us enough to demand an extension or anything like that. If we don't extend him, if somebody make a big bid for him, we just let him go. It's a lot of that kind of stuff that I think it's a little crazy. It's a little premature. It's a little premature to say that I don't. It's a little premature to feel like Tari isn't as valuable as what he's shown he is when he's on the floor. Because when he's on the floor, he gives you exactly what we've known him to be. You know, it was a time where I think people were saying that he reminded them of Dennis Rodman rebounding the basketball, and then the next thing you know, um, he reminds them of this person and that person playing defense. Like the dude is a engine, a hot engine. He just has a crazy motor, and he's like, we don't use basketball IQ for players who don't talk about stuff a lot. But I watch players like Tor Eason, and I tell you another one that I mentioned is Clint Capella as far as basketball IQ. Because just on a side note, if you watch how Clint Capella gets himself in position to catch lobs, it's all mental. It's all mental how he moves a man with his body, steps into a position, and then gets ready to make sure you almost have to throw the lob where he wants it. It's art. It's art how Clint Capella moves the defense to get in position to catch lobs. If you haven't watched it, you should go back and watch some of his highlights. But it's the same thing with Tar Eason. Everything he does, I know he's going full speed and it looks like he's just going with reckless abandon and he's just going without thinking. But if you watch what he's looking at before he even starts to move, he's already seen what he wants to play on, where he wants to move to, how he's gonna attack this offense. And a lot of times it plays out just like he sees it. And I think that has a lot to do with his basketball IQ. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't heard nobody mention his basketball IQ, but I would like to believe from what I see that Tariq Eason is a very high IQ defender. Okay. So with that being said, you know, um, anybody wants to chime in. Uh, if you stop through, please hit like and subscribe. You know, we're going to keep it short on this one. Not going to be on here too much longer. And I just wanted to bring y'all that little quick take on the playoff game one. And when I bring out playoff game two, I got some specific things I want to point to. I'm gonna try to make it to where I can at least have the score a little more visible to where I can show y'all the runs and who impacted the runs at what part of the game, because that was something that I saw that I really wanted to point to, but I wasn't able to point to it because I had to move them out the way so I don't get copyright strikes. Um, so anyway, that's pretty much gonna be it for today. I did want to drop that to y'all. I appreciate y'all stopping through. Hit the like and subscribe. We're gonna keep you lit. You've been warned. Stay on red alert. So tap in, stay on, stay lit. EF Hutton, Rockets Red Alert, signing off.